Hello, healers and health seekers. It's me, Ichoda, healing on the medical medium protocols for 22 months now. Go me. My week has been very introspective and introverted, and emotions have been coming up. Emotions have been simmering, kind of like around here or in my belly, in my gut, and just kind of in this core center part of my body. I've been feeling just these emotions happening, and some of them come up and out to be healed, and some of them are just kind of sitting in here. Feelings of sadness and grief and this feeling of being lost. And this isn't about my healing as far as like food and diet and all that stuff. Like my healing is good. I'm good with that. There's like little things here and there, whatever, but my healing is good. It's more just about where I am in my life right now and thinking about all the options open to me and what I want to do next and where I want to physically live next and stuff like that. And some of it just feels very overwhelming because there's too many choices. There's too many choices and not enough choices at the same time, and it's feeling overwhelming. So I've just been sitting with all of that emotion, and detox happens because we're alive. You know, Muniza said in the webinar that she did on Sunday, April 29th, she did a webinar talking about the upcoming cleanse that she's doing in May, in a couple weeks. And she said, if you're alive, you're detoxing, because our bodies are always detoxing. That's how we stay alive. Our liver has to filter out that stuff. Our lymph system has to filter out whatever's coming in. It's when it gets clogged up and stuff that we get really sick. But if we are alive, we're detoxing. That's just how our bodies work all the time. So that's good news, right? And you want to be detoxing, but sometimes the detox can be a little hard, and sometimes it can be a little much or whatever. And of course I've had, I was doing the, last video I did was Rosalind and myself, and we wrapped up our 28-day raw cleanse, and we talked about that. And I haven't started like the next thing yet. I still am doing the 90-day thyroid rehab challenge, and we are in month 2 of that, which is the heavy metal detox month. So I'm staying the course on that, of course, but that's also kind of like easy for me to do. I don't it's easy because it's kind of already what I would be doing anyway. The next 30 days, when we move into that, that'll change some things up for me a little bit. But right now I'm in a like, yeah, this is what I do anyway kind of space. And because I didn't have my juicer for a few days, I've kind of gotten out of the habit of juicing. But what I have been doing instead is just high amounts of aloe water. I started doing, for a few days, I think about 4 days, I did those big aloe leaves, that are like this big, and it's the whole thick aloe leaf. I was doing a whole aloe leaf, which into 2 different 32 ounce. So I was doing 64 ounces of aloe, lemon, ginger, honey water. That's what I was doing. And so I did that for about 4 days, and it just took the amount of liver flushing and cleansing up to it was disrupting my sleep. And I don't care if I have to get up to pee when I sleep, but it was disrupting my sleep in other ways. And like I was just having poor sleep. So I was like, all right, let me take it down just a notch. And instead of doing an entire leaf a day, what I am doing now is I'm dividing that leaf into 3 jars instead of 2. And so I guess I'm having a little bit less, but not too much less, but I am having less, and my sleep is better. So it worked. So I'm doing that with the aloe water. And the other thing I was doing with that is instead of waiting until I get thirsty, which is like kind of, because my morning routine is lemon water and then celery juice and then heavy metal detox smoothie and then a chaga or some kind of tea, and then I will start on the aloe water. But so I just make it in the morning when I'm making everything else, instead of waiting until I'm ready to drink it to make it. Good things that happened this past week. I got my juicer cap back, so now my juicer is in commission, which is freaking fantastic because that means everybody can have their celery juice again, and it's easier and it's awesome. And I can be making asparagus juice again. I actually really missed being on asparagus juice, and it was like I didn't want that break. So I'm gonna go back to doing the asparagus juice. Back to my Costco has organic asparagus. So, and the other thing is my thumb. Bum, bum, bum. You can't even tell. It's healed. And it was healed enough to use and be functional and fine within 3 days. So that was fantastic. And let's see. So I had a Kyocera knife. It was a ceramic knife. One day I was cutting into a mango and a little piece of the blade just kind of fell out. I mean, it's ceramic and they're quite thin. The newer ones are not as well made as the one that my mother-in-law gave me, not by a long shot, because that's progress. Why make something good and then have a lifetime warranty on it when you can just make something mediocre, have the lifetime warranty, and then it's cheaper to replace with something else that's mediocre? OXO did that to me too. So disappointing. Anyway, you know this. You know about this because you have things that you use that you've noticed over the years. Like when I bought this the first time, the quality is so much higher than when I had to go replace it, right? Like it's freaking disappointing. But anyway, Kyocera has a warranty that is worded in such a way that basically it's like, we may replace it for you. If it breaks, you can risk it and see if you want to send it to us. And we might not, because we may or may not cover this defect, and it's all at our discretion, right? So I was like, it's a long shot, but I sent them the broken knife. And I was like, I hope they send me a new one, because I really, despite the lower quality than the past, I still friggin' love ceramic knives. They're so sharp, so sharp. They're so sharp that if you don't have a steady hand with knives, well, I did cut the tip of my thumb off, so this can happen. Still worth it to me. I still like these knives. So anyway, I didn't know if they'd ever send it back to me, if I'd ever get a replacement. But I got the replacement the day after my juice cap got back, and I was like, ooh, this is awesome, all this great stuff. I was pretty happy about that. That was a really long story about the knife, sorry. And probably interesting only to me. Unless you have a Kyocera knife and it breaks, and then send it back. So I don't know why I was talking about that in the first place. Okay, so symptoms have gone away, like, the itching is barely there. My sleep has improved, and that's been great. Like, with the aloe water, that's been fantastic. A lot of stuff detoxing coming out, but I'm doing the castor oil packs, and I'm promoting extra detox. Like, I want this stuff to come out of me so that I don't have to deal with it anymore. I'm getting impatient, and that's... I don't mean I'm getting impatient like I need it to be. I don't know how to explain myself. I mean, just, I still am having like recurring little periods. This is just recently too, because I upped my detox, and that's on me with the raw cleanse and all the extra juicing and stuff. So I had that like sort of week of brain fog, but then I am now still getting like see? I can't even say the word. Recurring periods of brain fog where I just sort of can't focus, or like yesterday my day was going great, and then around like 2:30 or 3 o'clock I just sort of was like, and whew. But I think that was because I need to work on food again. I kind of have to, I don't know what my deal is, where I go through these cycles where I'm just like, I don't feel like making anything or thinking about food to make, and then I also just don't feel like eating, and I mean I eat, I need to eat in an adrenal support kind of way where I'm eating every 60 to 90 minutes, and I don't do that necessarily. I let too much time go by, and that's, I think, what crashes me is like I need to keep eating. And so, but it doesn't happen every day. It's just some days I get like that. And it's on days where like there's a little more fatigue, there's a little more brain fog. Brain fog just, God, those of you who have brain fog, you know this, right? It ruins everything. Like I don't want pain, but I would have it over brain fog. You know what I'm saying? Because like at least I can think when I'm in pain, sort of. Sometimes the pain affects my thinking too, but that brain fog, she's Louise, man. It takes you out, right? Like it's like you can't think and you can't think that you can, it's like trying to think through pea soup rather than, through like clear air or whatever. It's hard. It's so hard. So I've been having periods of that, and I had a little bit yesterday, and when that happens, everything starts to feel much more overwhelming, and I start getting that like, oh, I can't do anything feeling, and it's just a lot. It's just a lot. The good news is it's not every day, but the bad news is it does affect me, and it also is making me rethink other choices that I'm thinking about making right now. Because here's the thing. I want to be some kind of practitioner so that I can help people on a more official basis, like in a more official capacity. And, I would not mind earning a living helping people heal. Ultimately I really want to help people heal. And I want to do that in some official capacity. And so I was thinking, well, I know I'm not at a point where I am consistently strong enough to do that on a daily basis. However, I could start taking classes for it when I am more like stronger and more consistent about, being able to function like that. I'll be ready, like I can just be like, okay, I'm ready. I already have this behind me and I already have this training and whatever. So then I get these periods of brain fog and I think, I don't know, can I be able to take a class even? Because sometimes when I can't, it's like when I get that brain fog, literally the only thing that I can really even do, I can either go to sleep or I can just watch comedies. It's all my brain can do. It just can't even, I can't read a book. I can't, focus on anything that requires focusing. Like if something needs me to listen and pay attention so that I hear the details, that's not going to happen. Like I'll be texting with a friend of mine or something and I'll be like, yeah, I just need to, I can't, and I know that those of you who have brain fog, you get this. You know what it's like. It's just, So anyway, so then it kind of has me rethinking the whole thing. But then Monday, Anthony does this amazing show on compassion, right? Did you guys listen to the show on Hay House Radio that he did on compassion on Monday? Because if you haven't listened, it is on SoundCloud. And how do I know? Because I have listened to it every day since. So that's 2 more times. It is such a powerful show. It is such a powerful show, this show on compassion. That show on compassion is really helping me see where I'm not having compassion for myself. Because I'm putting pressure on myself. Like I think I should be a certain way and I should be this. And if I'm going to make YouTube videos about my healing, then I need to be more healed. Or I need to... I know you guys don't think this way, because I know when I'm watching a YouTuber, when I'm watching someone on YouTube and I'm watching their videos, let me take my friend Heather, for example. Heather's actually my friend in real life. She has an amazing channel called The Butterfly Effect Plant-Based Weight Loss. She has been doing her YouTube channel for so long, and I mean years, and she's one of the people who I knew I wanted to do kind of a documentation of my healing and do a YouTube channel, but I was really hesitant to start it for many reasons. And she's the one who was like, Ichota, you need to do this channel. Do it. She's like, just do it. You can do this. And she's cheered me on and was such a great cheerleader. And here's what I love about Heather's channel. I mean, okay, I know her in real life, so it's really cool, like watching my friend go through this transformative experience and see her come into her own power and like get so healthy and feeling good about herself and just seeing her own like light, you know, because she's such an amazing human being. And I think every single one of us who has a YouTube channel is so afraid to fail in front of people. And I don't mean fail, because we're not failing. It's not a failure. But we're so afraid because we know how much of a difference this journey has made for us. And we don't want people to be afraid to take it on. Because it's so transformative that all this stuff, any stuff that I'm going to talk about in a video that I'm getting like having a hard time with, any struggles I have are so worth it. And so you get afraid to show people when you're struggling. It's hard. It's hard. Well, it's just hard to be vulnerable in general, right? Like, you know, that's why Brene Brown has a whole career about like vulnerability, because it's so freaking hard for people to be vulnerable. I know for me it is. If I cry in front of people, that's hard for me. I have all sorts of stories that run in my head about that, about me if I do that. However, I know that if other people cry in front of me, I feel closer to them. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is, like, I get how silly it is for me to say, I don't want to show you where I'm struggling. I know, because I know that when other people show, when I watch Heather's channel and I see her struggle, I feel closer to her because I know she's human like me. I'm not going to cry. Hold on. Push it back, push it back. I told you I'm not going to make this a thing where I cry in every video. That's not going to be my thing. No, I'm not doing it. But I feel more connected to her because she's human. I feel more connected to people when they show their vulnerability. We all do. We all do, because we're like, hey, I have vulnerability. You're like me. I stumble. You're like me. So why are we each so afraid to show it? Well, that's a question for Brene Brown to answer. I mean, she's made a world of job of it, and she's amazing, and I can't even come close to that. So I get nervous to say, I'm struggling, but I'm struggling. That's the truth. Here's the thing, I'm not struggling with my healing path, you know. I'm not like, I know I'm on the right path. I have no question in my mind. I'm in the right place. And if I start to look at other things that are outside of that, I know it solidifies for me even more that I'm in the right place. And then I just am like, yeah, because this is what I'm doing is right. And it's cool. So I can up my detox or do little tweaks and this, that, here and there in it. And that's cool. But when it comes down to it, the core of it, like what I'm doing, I'm on the right path. So I'm not doubting that or anything like that. I do get, the things that I get impatient with are like, I never knew when I started this journey what could happen. I never knew the full potential of how much a person could heal, or like what I could heal, or what that even could look like, because I dared not think of it. It was so out of reach for me, and it was so impossible to me that even thinking about it caused me too much pain to think, wishing for something that I just thought I would never ever get back. Well, here I am 22 months later, and I know what's possible. And I know that getting it all back is possible, and then some. And I want that, you know, I want it. And it's like I want to hurry up and get this like hard detoxing done so that I can get to the next level. And so, but then I'm like, okay, I have to listen to my body. I have to listen to my body. I need to listen to her because she has wisdom that I don't comprehend, and that's fine. My job is to hear her tell me that wisdom. My job is to get focused, or not, I don't want to say it that way, like get focused, come on. But my job is to focus inward and really try to hear her. So asking the angels for help with that, or meditating and just being still and hearing her needs and trying to meet those needs as best I can. So, and that's going to support my healing. So being, trying to get off track by being like, I have a normal human brain. It works in normal human ways. I get down on myself, which is, here we hearkening back to Anthony's show on compassion, and realizing that I do that. I do automatically sort of default to thinking, oh, what's wrong with me? Like, why isn't this moving? Why isn't this happening? Why isn't, because I never had a timeline on it before. Like, what's going on that all of a sudden I have some kind of timeline? There's no timeline on healing. You heal at the rate that your body is ready to heal. You heal at the rate that you can heal given the circumstances that you're in. I can't push that. I can't force that. I can't, I can't. And what I can do, though, is make myself crazy trying to. I can, if trying to think about things like that, like if I think about something's wrong, like I need to have that compassion for myself is what I'm trying to say. I need to remember this is healing. This is a journey. What I always tell everybody, it takes time. It takes time. And that's okay. It's funny and almost awesome that I'm impatient now, because that means that I'm so secure in the fact that I'm healing that I'm like, let's get it done. Let's get to that level. I want to get to that level where I can function. No, it has to happen at the rate that it's going to happen. I can't force it. I can't make it be something else. But that's part of the work. That's part of the emotional work for me. That's part of the journey, is me seeing, like, where am I pushing? And it's not to say don't challenge myself, because of course that's good, to challenge myself and to see things like when I did that raw cleanse with Rosalind and realizing like, hey man, I did raw for 28 days and I did that. Like I saw something through to the end, and that's a huge victory check. That's great. I did it. I did that. And that was me challenging myself and saying like, and it was also me checking in with my body and being like, can I handle this? Is this something I'm ready for? Because I wasn't ready for it before. I wasn't. Like, you're not, just because you want to be ready for all raw and stuff like that, you might not be. And you got to listen to your body's wisdom, and you have to trust her or him. You have to trust your body, and you have to trust like what it's telling you. And, so that's what I'm tuning into. That's what I'm, listening to Anthony's show on compassion it's like, yeah, I need to tune into my body. I need to make that my focus. I need to make developing my relationship with my body my focus, and having compassion for myself. I almost feel like right now I'm realizing that it's kind of shifting my perspective just a little bit and going like, okay, how about let's focus on this right now? How about let's do a 28 days of like checking in with your body? How about let's do, you know what I mean? I want to do something. That's what I need to do. I need to do something of really listening to her wisdom and going deeper with that, and really working on that self-compassion and doing that practice. Now I have been called, I have felt pulled to listen to Anthony's show on compassion for the last 3 days. I don't think I'm going to stop. I think it might be part of my challenge to myself is to listen to that show every day for, a month. And then go and write in my journal about my relationship with my body and what's coming out of that. And maybe that's what I'm going to do. So I'm gonna think about that. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like, what I need to do. And at the same time, really concentrating on. So I am still doing this thyroid healing challenge. And so, I have something to focus on with that as far as food. And also just keeping it, for myself, I know it's something I want to do, is just keeping it super low fat. So focusing on she's so cute. I'll lean over so you can see her cute little face. Focusing on the relationship with my body, checking in with her, asking her what does she need, and that mindfulness. Rosalind talked about in our last video, in our interview, she talked about wanting to really bring that mindfulness in. So I think that's my thing for this next 30 days, is like mindfulness and compassion, and to really make that my focus rather than the food specifically, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I have a question for you. I have a couple of questions for you. Okay, so my first question, here's what I'm going to do. So my first question for you is about compassion. Did you listen to Anthony's radio show on compassion? And what was your takeaway from that? I want to know. I really want to know. Because I would love to I want to hear everybody's, like, what did you get from that show? It's amazing. What is your takeaway about self-compassion, and what is something that you feel like really resonated with you? So the other thing that was kind of I was trying to figure out is, so I have a small YouTube channel, which means that it is not eligible for monetization. I will not make any money off of this channel. I don't have any complaint. I didn't start this channel for money. I didn't, which is why, I have a link down below to my PayPal, but I feel weird about saying, like, if you want to donate or whatever, because that's not why I do this. It's not. I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, some people just feel called to donate and they want to, and that is something they like to do, and I shouldn't, like, hide that from them either. So, okay. So what do you, obviously I have work to do around money and all financial issues and stuff, because it's a whole thing. I want to be like a llama where I'm like, I don't deal with money. But I live in the world, and the world does. So what are you going to do? So I know one of the options that a lot of YouTubers do is a Patreon, and I'm wondering if I should try to start a Patreon, and what you guys think about that. Should I start a Patreon? If you don't know what Patreon is, it's basically where, like, your audience can contribute to you, like, and then the way they do it is this: you can pay like $1 a month or $3 a month or something, and it just bills you monthly. And some people will do, like, extra stuff on their Patreon that they don't put on YouTube necessarily, or they release later on YouTube. Like, the Patreon subscribers get it first, stuff like that. So I don't know if that's something I should do. I don't know. I'm so weird about money. Maybe I shouldn't do it until I deal with my money issues, because I'm like, I don't want to ask people for money. I just want to allow it if it wants to happen. And I can tell that by not even mentioning that I have these possible avenues that I'm not allowing it. So, oh no. Anyway. I don't want to be so weird about it. Anyway, so, okay. That's what I wanted to ask. What do you guys think? You can tell that I'm, like, so not comfortable with this, right? I'm not comfortable with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't ramble too much. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below. That does help my channel a lot. Subscribe if you want more of my medical medium stories, and I try to do other kind of stuff. If you want to be notified when I post a video, ding that bell down below. There's a little bell you can hit and it'll send you notifications. And as always, I welcome your comments. I welcome your questions. If you have ideas for future videos for me and more content you would like to see, please tell me, because I'm all about trying to put out content that other people want to see. I write down all of your ideas in my ideas notebook, and then I try to just kind of go down the list and do it. I go up all over the list, but I try to put out that content. Anyway, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Stay curious. My greatest wish is for your healing. You can heal. I will see you next time. Blessings for your continued healing. Mwah. I love you. Bye-bye.